This week, JCole drops a surprise song. Reason did some unbearable tactics to get off TDE. And TPain just sold his catalog. Let's talk about it.
The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. Episode 86. We are live. We're headed to 100 episodes. Thank you, Josh. Thank you guys for coming back for another great episode. We got a lot to talk about today. Nobody on the list of subscriptions. That means my motion is slowed down a little bit. Look, man, if you guys want this to keep going, I got to get more subscribers. We are on the road to 1,000 by the end of March. We got to get this done. So if you enjoy this content, make sure you're sharing it with someone. Make sure you're liking it. And I'm begging you guys, give me comments, bro. Give me comments. Put something in the comment section. Help this motherfucker to go, man. We need engagement. We need all of that shit. Move this into a place where I can be happy. Isn't that what you want? You want to be happy? I know it. But thank you guys for everybody who keeps showing up. Make sure you guys check out my last two videos, which was the last one was a collab with Decipher Media. I sat down with those guys when I went back home. We talked about what happened in 2024. Most of the conversation is about Drake's lawsuit, which had an interesting back and forth. And make sure you guys check out the last episode. That was a pretty good episode, if I do say so myself. But thank you for the support. My week has been full of disappointment. I tried to get tickets to Wireless. I live in the UK. I tried to get tickets to Wireless and failed miserably. It sold out within minutes. And oh my God, that hurt I really wanted to go see Drake. I knew I wasn't going to go on the day that Vibes Cartel was going to be performing because I didn't want to be out there with the Yardies. I just didn't want to be out there with that. But I wanted to see the second night. I know the poster was kind of hilarious because it was like Drake and Mans and them. We find out who Mans and them was. But I really was trying to get those tickets, man. I'm still getting used to trying to acclimate to going to see shows. There's a lot of shows and festivals that I want to go to here in the UK, but I haven't figured out a way to stay on top of it, get alerted or anything like that. So if you're someone in the UK that watches this show consistently, hit me up in the comments, man, or just let me know where should I go to keep up with like what festivals are coming or when can I get tickets. I signed up for another festival that's coming up pretty soon. I know Westside Gun is supposed to be here. I missed the Leon Thomas show. It's a lot of shows I keep missing because I'm not tapped in. And I don't really have friends here yet. I haven't found a friend circle yet. So it's just kind of hard to keep up with everything while I'm here. So if you're somebody in the UK that watches this show, please, man, in the comments, leave me some suggestions on where I should be going as far as like websites or if it's Instagram pages I need to be following or whatever to keep up when the events are happening because I'm missing out on a lot of shit that I want to go see. And I'm tired of missing these shows, bro. Like I want to see a lot of these shows and I want to network and meet new people. So if you are someone who is in the UK, hit me up in the comments and, let me know how I can get, tapped in. It's Saturday. It's about 2:55. I'm going to probably speed through this show because DJ AG is supposed to be... Where's DJ AG going to be? DJ AG is supposed to be on Abbey Road Studios, and I live in Southeast, and I think that's about an hour away taking, like, public transport. So I'm trying to go see DJ AG. I think he's going to be there from 5 to 7, and I just want to be there to kind of see what's going on. So if I rush through the show just a little bit, that's because I'm trying to make moves to go see DJ AG. But other than that, man, let's get into new releases.
New releases.
JCole decided to give us a surprise drop on his blog, the Inevitable blog. If you guys did not go listen to the show, he had a show called Inevitable where he was giving us kind of like a audio trip through his career, which I thought was very well done. If you guys haven't listened to that yet, please go listen to it. But he has a blog on there. He's taking it back to the blogger days, and he dropped a song called Clouds, produced by DZL and Omen, and he said he had a bit to do with it. Phenomenal song. This song was something that took me back to early JCole. He changed his flow up on this song, by the way. Like the cadence, the way he's rhyming on here. I don't think I've heard him rhyme like this before. I think that was one of the things that actually kept me kept my attention throughout the song. I'm like, he never had no cadence like this before. It's a mature rap song. It's talking about getting older, being an elder statesman in the rap game now, how things have changed throughout time from what he used to see to what he's seeing now, and how, we might not even get to have rappers anymore. AI might take over. Cole is here. This is the beginning of the rollout. This song right here, again, I'm going to put it on my list of songs of the year. Cole is out here rapping. He is rapping. Very well put together. I thought the production was dope, even though we didn't have any drums in here for real. This man put together a nice song. He said he came up with the title 20 minutes before he dropped it on his blog. But this gives me hope for the fall off. I'm telling you, I know the fall off is coming out this year. We know it's coming. I think I put on Twitter that it'll probably be out late spring, early summer. We're getting that album. We're getting that album here in the next few months. I'm telling you what I know. I think that him putting out some more mature rap is something that we've been asking from our artists for a very long time. Kind of taking a bit of a key from Kendrick, and I'm not trying to give Kendrick all of this praise. I'm just saying, you can tell that these big three that we've had for the last 15 years, a couple of them are moving forward in the type of music they want to put out. I'm so happy to hear this from Cole. He's continuing what he was doing last year. I kept telling everybody that Might Delete Later was one of the best albums that came out in 2024. A lot of people kind of dismissed it because of the apology, and that was pretty stupid. Say what you want to about JCole. You can't say that nigga can't rap. I'm sorry. You cannot tell me that this nigga can't rap. Clouds is one of those things that shows he has matured in the way he comes at us with songs. And let's congratulate him on doing it his way. Instead of doing it through streaming or dropping it through streaming, he dropped it on his blog. He did a very old school, damn, blog era is old school now. So shit just hits you sometimes. Damn, bro, like the blog era is old school. It's considered old school. What the fuck is going on? But he did it in a very old school way from the blog era. It just, everything, all of it to me just encompasses like me remembering how it was when I used to go on websites and download music on a regular basis, going to Dat Piff and stuff like that. And him doing it this way brought a nostalgia to me that I love. But this song is, if he's going to do a lot of this type of music on that album, on the new album, I am here for it. I am fucking with it. Let's fucking go. I had a conversation with my homie Hakeem from Decipher Media, and he asked me if I was fucking with the song, and I was like, yes, I fuck with it. I fuck with it. This is what I want. This is exactly what I want. If we're going to get this in the fall off, then the fall off is going to be his classic album. I'm telling you what I know. But I've been saying that, I've been screaming that from the windows for years. The Fall Off is going to be his classic album. The Fall Off is his ultimate outro when it comes to his career. I'm not saying that he's gonna never rap again. I'm just saying we're not gonna get a full. This is gonna be the last full album we get from JCole. So I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. One of my favorite bars was like the flow changed, but Jermaine's the same. I'm the plain Jane, not a chain on my neck, but shine like the baguettes. A shame, not a flex, to rhyme like the rest. My mind quite depressed if I don't write these. I'm the Spike Lee of audio back in my barrio. Simplistic, but it works for me. A lot of niggas be like, man, that's some basic ass. You hating ass niggas on Twitter, man, that shit basic as fuck. I don't care. It works. The cadence with that rhyme, right, with that flow works for me. One of my favorite bars off the song. I'm most definitely put it on there on my songs of the year. I hope that we get more from him during this rollout. I want to see what this rollout is going to look like also, because The fall off is going to be, he's going up against Drake this year because Drake's dropping an album this year too. And I want to see how we accept both of these albums. Like, how are we going to accept J. Cole's album and how are we going to accept Drake's album in 2025? Does that make sense? Like, I think a lot of people didn't accept Might Delete Later because of the apology song, the apology he said when he put out his 7-minute drill. But, like, you can't deny great talent and you can't deny great rapping. I think that the Drake album is going to do numbers as well. We already seen what Sexy Songs for You have done. A lot of people eating their words off of that too. So I'm just ready to hear more J. Cole. If we're getting music like that from J. Cole, I'm here for it. There's some other albums that I've been listening to. I will most definitely give you guys some critiques on Wednesday. I know I've been behind on them. I apologize. I'm going to start putting my list of albums that I'm listening to as well on Twitter. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, make sure you do that at Cole Jackson 12. I'll put it on somewhere on the screen. But again, thank you, J. Cole, for giving us a very wonderful song. If this is what the lead into the fall off is going to be, I'm fucking with it.
Music news.
Before I start the news, I just want to say rest in peace to Valetta Wallace, the mother of Notorious Big. She passed here recently, and man, she was a person who brought us one of the best rappers in the world. Apparently, she died of natural causes from what I've read. She was in hospice, and I just want to say rest in peace, and I want to give peace and love out to her family. Wow. She died at 72 years old, so she lived a long life. She gave us a lot of hope. When Biggie died, she was one of the people who spearheaded just the whole movement of remembering him and being a part of his, just giving us memories of him. And she was a part of the Notorious movie. She helped with that. It was just a lot that she gave to keep his memory alive. So now she's with her son, and I just want to say rest in peace and thank you. Man, interesting news this week. Let's go ahead and get started with some of the lame shit. Reason was recently on Bootleg Kev's podcast, and he openly admitted to praising Drake during the beef to help get off of his label. If you haven't seen this clip, I'm going to drop the clip right here.
You know, they only fans that they only like Isaiah Rashad or whatever. So the fans that didn't like me before, they were consistent and they still don't like me. Because when you sign with TDE, there's going to be TDE fans that don't fuck with you. It's just how it works. But the fans have been the only fans I really lost were fans that I shot myself in the foot in, but I had to do that to get out of the label deal. When the Dot and Drake beef started, I felt like Top and them were kind of like dragging their feet a little bit. I don't think purposely, I just think they had a lot of shit going on. And I knew that if I kind of like sparked a fire a little bit, that they'd be like, we got to separate from this. So I kind of like started tweeting shit on the side of Drake purposely because I saw how so there's fans that hate me for that, and
wait what was the main tweet that fans hated you for?
They hated me when
I do remember you saying shit, and I was just like,
you're just like, this is crazy, but I was purposely doing it. So I was talking to my boy LT, and he was like, bro, you got to turn it up if you want to get out of here in this year. Like, this is gonna drag. Like, I know how, because he's a lawyer, he does contracts.
Right.
He's like, I know how this shit works, bro. This should have taken 2.5 years,
right,
unless you turn it up. So I tweeted, it was right after Push-Ups dropped. I tweeted like, y'all hating this beat switch up is fire. And then I like let it sit for like 10 minutes and deleted it. It went crazy. And then, you know what I mean? And I still had the reason TDE, so it looked like insane.
Right.
It looked like super crazy. So I tweeted that. And then I also, I had a rap radar that I did. I mean, not a rap radar, the green room. Why am I
on the radar?
On the radar, yeah. I had on the radar that I did over a Drake beat, but this was before the beef even started.
Oh, wow.
And so they hit me. They're like, yo, we was about to drop it, but we don't want to, damage your situation. Should we hold it?
Run that shit.
Run it. Run it. Let's do it. Like, run it.
If you willingly signed a contract with a place and you feel like you're mistreated or you feel like things weren't the way they were supposed to be, what type of would you compromise yourself to get out of that deal? Would you compromise yourself? What would you do? Would you do underhanded type things? Which I don't know if that's underhanded or not. when I see that clip, and again, I like to get more context and watch the whole podcast, but unfortunately, I don't like Bootleg Kev, and I don't really like his interviews. So I didn't do more of the research. So blame my head, not my heart. But I'm not putting myself through another boring ass Bootleg Kev interview. Sorry. When I see that clip, the first thing I said was, homie is lame as fuck. Hold on. Not judging. I get it. His situation wasn't the best in the world. He's had so many problems with TDE since he signed. He is one of those people who has consistently wanted to put albums out on top of albums on top of albums. And let me be perfectly clear with you guys. I think Reason is a pretty good rapper. I think some of his content is really good. I've had problems with some of his albums being a little bit boring. Sometimes he tends to fall into this cadence that just puts me to sleep. That's not every album he's put out. But a lot of his music that I've listened to that he's been on TDE has been a little bit boring. It's been a little bit of the same. That doesn't make him a terrible rapper. That just means you got to change up your content just a little bit. That's all I'm asking. Do something different. He had been one of those artists that has been wanting to be consistent with putting out music. Now, for us who are the consumers, a lot of the times we want that from certain artists that comes from TDE. We understand the system that TDE goes up under. You know, we wait 4 to 5 years for people to drop albums on that label. But I also am understanding of they're real big on quality than they are on quantity. And maybe their morals don't fit each other. It feels to me like Reason really wanted quantity over just really quality product. When he got into it with one of the VPs of TDE, and he was just kind of going in on how they would not give him an opportunity to get certain features, how they wouldn't give him the opportunity to put out music when he wants to put things out. So I get it. He was frustrated with the label, which comes with a lot of artists when they sign a deal. I never really thought that TDE was one of those churn and burn type places. And I really feel like he played himself if you played yourself when you do shit like that, bruh. That's how I look at it. I just feel like, bro, if you really wanted out of your contract like that, there was another way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he got dropped and he's independent now from what he's been putting out. I still follow him on Twitter. I think he does put out some pretty decent music. Let me just continue to say that because niggas only hear negative and not positive. And I do want to hear his next album. He's dropped a few singles that since he's been independent that seems pretty cool. But like, I always looked at it at TDE, and this might be me looking at things through rose-colored glasses, but I always looked at TDE as family. I always looked at it as like, we're going to look out for each other as long as we can to make sure we're good. And for you to do something like that, and I know it's just a rap battle, bro, but I just feel like you compromised yourself to get out of a deal that you willingly signed and you willingly was a part of. I'm tired of artists sitting up here getting pissed off about things that they willingly signed. You willingly signed a deal. I don't know if he extended that deal during his time. Reason had been with that label since 2018. You know what I'm saying? That's quite a few years to be in that system and kind of understand how things work. And maybe he had been unhappy since 2020, who knows? But I just feel like certain situations deserve to be a little bit more loyalty to that place. You get what I'm saying? I think I hold TDE I want to put them on a mountaintop because they've given me so much quality music. If you look at the past 10 years, maybe even more than the past 10 years of music that TDE has given us that's been quality, it's the best label out. Nobody else is doing it like TDE does it. So it really bothered me that he had to go that route to be able to get out of a contract that he willingly signed. I don't think I would have been able to compromise myself or be able to do something like that to be able to get out of it. I mean, those are extreme things. And again, we're talking about a rap battle. And maybe I'm looking at it from a viewpoint of maybe the music side is taking over my brain more than the reality of it. But I don't think I would want to compromise myself on a place that's been loyal to me and a place that has kept me and gave me a deal to be able to put my music out to that extreme, because we knew the type of movement niggas was doing when that whole battle was going on. I think it was just completely lame. It was a lame way to do it. If you have lawyers, I'm pretty sure they could figure out a better way. Again, he said in the clip that they dragged their feet on stuff like that. But can I be honest? And this is an honest thing from my point of view. Not saying this is true, but like, I'm pretty sure they was ready to let you go after that whole situation with the VP. It's not like we was demanding a Reason album. Matter of fact, you were one of the few people who were putting out albums consistently, but just didn't really have the oomph that everybody was looking at. And I know people have fans. We have been fans for Schoolboy. We've been fans for Kendrick. We've been fans for J-Rock. All of these artists. Soul, Ab Soul, Solo. It just felt like sometimes, bro, you just wanted to put out albums just to say I put out another album. Like, these niggas dragging their feet, but me, I can get this shit out there, because he, at one point in time, that's all we was getting from TDE, Reason albums. And everything wasn't the best quality. And I'm just coming from my point of view. And my point of view might not mean shit. Who cares? But at the end of the day, bro, like, how do you know they was going to drag their feet about putting you out of there when you clearly had a situation where a back and forth with one of the execs, and you clearly was unhappy about everything that was going on? You was mad about features that really didn't match your rhyme style. You was mad about features that didn't really match who you are or who the type of music you put out as an artist. So what are we talking about here? I think if you would have sat down and got with Top and all of these other people that at the label, they would have really, if you said, hey man, I really need to get off of this label. If you got good enough lawyers like you say you do, I'm pretty sure they would have let you off the label. No problem. But going to that extreme it just feels lame. It just feels like you just compromised yourself. And on top of that, I don't think I would have exposed that while I'm an independent artist, because even though you had every right to do what you needed to do because you got to feed your family, because he put out a tweet talking about feeding his family, making money, so on and so forth. And we get it. I get it, bro. You got to do what you got to do to make sure you make money off of this music thing. But even though that's your way of thinking, fans' way of thinking, the way that people kind of support you, they back you behind the type of person that you are, your character that you try to put out on the internet. I just wouldn't have put that statement out until after my album dropped. And I don't know if this was a ploy for people to get people to buy the album or get people to kind of get behind you. Say, yeah, man, Reason, he had been going through it at TDE, bro. Like, we feel bad for that dude, bro. That nigga had to sit up here. He had to do freestyles on a Drake song. He had to sit up here and comment about the Drake beef and actually take Drake's side on things just to get off that label, man. I feel sorry for that dude. I got to buy this album. I don't know too many fans who think that way. I know I don't think that way. And I know a lot of fans will turn their back on you when they feel like you're not loyal to who they're loyal to. Is it a dumb way of thinking? Of course it's a stupid way of thinking. But the internet and people in general are dumb. Fans do stupid shit. They think these codes of ethics are real, and they're not. I just wouldn't have put that statement out there before I had an album that was about to drop, because I think his album drops on Friday, if not mistaken, before the end of the month. And being an independent artist, I think you need as many supporters and as many people who are going to back the album as possible. And going on Bootleg Kev and dropping that little nugget, I don't think that helped anything. Now, he talks about not really losing fans like that, and it wasn't like that big of a deal. Hey, I get it. If you got your core base and you're okay with what you're going to get from that core base, we ain't got no beef. But I also feel like as an artist, you want to go to the next level, even if you're off of a label situation. Like, I think you want to prove to yourself and others that I'm bigger than where I came from. I want to make sure that I am up here where a lot of niggas didn't think there was. I want you to show them that I can do that as an independent. So we'll see how that shit goes down. I just think it was some of the lamest shit I've ever heard in my life. And again, I just don't think I would have done that before dropping my album. Now, I always tell you guys, and I'm gonna stick to it. Quantity does not equal quality. So if he comes out the gate and sells 10K first week, as an independent artist, that's a win. As an artist who puts out music that he feels like is quality, that's a win for him. He ain't got no label taking a piece of that. That's all him. But I also feel like you want to do more than 10K. I also feel like you want to make bigger numbers as an independent than you would on a label. You artists like to get on these podcasts and say a lot of dumb shit to fucking hurt your careers and do stupid things. And it really shows that you're trying to get a moment. Y'all got to stop, bro. Y'all need better PR. Y'all need better understanding of how to work this shit, because the way y'all are doing it these days is fucking stupid and it sucks. I hope that you get all the sales you possibly can from this, because I don't do it. Even if I don't really fuck with your music, if you're an independent artist, man, I try to root for you, because it's not easy. It's not easy being an independent artist, and it's not easy being able to get sales off of not having the promo budget that you would on a label, or not having the type of money to go on the type of radio runs or podcast runs or whatever you have to do when you're on a label than you are independently. So I'm rooting for you, my guy. I just personally think that was something you should have kept to yourself. All right, so TPain decided to sell his masters and select masters and his publishing catalog to an equity group founded by a woman by the name of Sharice Clark. The equity group is called HarbourView. Now, they have bought masters or catalogs from people like Nelly and Wiz Khalifa here recently, and TPain is like the newest person to do it. And I don't know how I feel about this. As you guys know, selling your masters and selling your publishing has been a thing that artists have been doing. It's been popular here for the last, I would say, 8-9 years. And we've had a lot of artists do that. Now, all the articles that I've read haven't told me how much money he got for it. They haven't really said if the rights go back to him or anything like that. Typically in some of these deals, the rights go back to the person. Again, he sold his publishing. If you guys don't know what publishing is, I'll put it right there for you. And only a few of his masters. Don't know which ones it is. Like this, it's a very vague statement, and it's a very vague story. I want more details, because a lot of times when artists do that, they usually reinvest into doing music and them going independent, which I think is fine. TPain has been doing fine with the streaming stuff and his podcast and all these other things. So he ain't hurting for money. This is only going to be something that he can reinvest in, making new music, because he said in a statement he's not done. He's going to continue to make more music. I have always been on the fence about selling your catalogs. Now, I understand that some artists don't have what it takes to be able to maintain, or the maintenance that come with being able to keep your masters and to be able to kind of like pay the fees or license it out. It's a lot of hard work when it comes to owning your masters. People don't ever tell you that part, but it is. Like, you have a lot of things you have to do with licensing deals, lawyers, all of that different stuff. I've always been on the side of, that's your art. You should hold on to it and figure out how to manage it so you can make the most out of it. A lot of times with these deals, when people sell their catalog, I always feel like, and this is just a personal preference, but I feel like some of these people get shortchanged from what they could get. These companies who buy catalogs and these companies who buy your publishing, they're going to make 10 times what they paid you for it. I understand the whole, do you want to own 100% of nothing, or do you want to own a percentage of something? I understand the sayings that everybody goes. I just feel like, why don't they have things out there to teach artists what they can do to manage licensing or manage what they can get from their streaming stuff with their catalog? It's a lot that goes into this. I know some people hate the fact that people sell their catalogs, and some people champion that shit. I have always been on the fence, because I just don't I never will understand why people fight so hard for their masters and then sell them for half the price that they could have got if they would have managed it themselves. I just wish that some of these other artists would understand how much money that their masters and publishing is really worth before they start selling this shit off. Because I've seen a lot of deals that came up shortchanged, or when you see the numbers that they get for what they sell it for, it just looks a type of way to me. And then some of these artists never really bounce back after selling their masters because it's like they don't have their old music to back themselves up on. They make new music. It doesn't sound as good as what the old stuff sounded like. I don't know. I get it, but I don't get it. I would love to sit down with TPain and kind of have a bigger conversation about why sell your publishing and why sell your masters, and what does the profit or what does the gain help you with moving forward when it comes to making more music or reinvesting in yourself. I don't get it. I was going to come on here and act like I was just like, oh, this is great, but I don't necessarily like it a lot of the time. Now, Cerise Clark is a black woman, at least, this HarbourView Equity Partners group, and I think that's great because I feel like when you have someone who is from the culture, who's a black woman who knows what's going on, I feel like they could take care of it a lot better. And if the rights revert back to TPain, everything's all good. But typically the heads of these companies are typically someone who's not from America or someone who is a white man who owns everything else in the world and they just want to collect more, like Thanos. So that's a good thing about this equity partner group that he sold it to. I feel like they would take care of it. I feel like they would take care of him as far as like what he got in compensation for it. But I really want to know what that number is. Like, I want to know what kind of number he got, because TPain has given us great hits. Like, he sold this on the anniversary of Buy You a Drink, which is one of his biggest hits ever. So it's poetic, but at the end of the day, I want to know more about what brought him to the point to sell this, or what made him say, hey, it ain't doing nothing, or I don't know how to manage this. They'll probably give me a nice chunk of change to be able to reinvest in my music. I got nothing else, man. Again, short, sweet, to the point. I told you guys I'm trying to go see DJ AG. It's almost that time for me to get up out of here. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you like this content, if you like the conversations, if you want more intellectual hip-hop conversation, you know what to do, man. Hit the subscribe button. Be a part of the society. Be a part of something special. Grow this thing. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I can't do it without you. All right? Thank you guys for everything you've given me, and I'll catch you next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.